because you love POD. Jason's a big POD and Creed guy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here. Songs of the Year series rolling on. We are into the new millennium Y2K. Rough year on the Billboard charts. We are getting to a point where people are going to have to remember that we are restricted to half of our picks coming from there. Every week we get these messages like, how could you skip this? Or how could you skip this? And then people on their own list ignore the Billboard charts and give us 10 great songs. And it's like, yeah, we only get 5 picks essentially. And that's especially coming into play from this point on, I think, because not all of these songs are very good. So Billboard charts, not great. I thought the wild cards were decent though. There's some good albums and good tracks from less than great records out there. So I had no shortage of things on the wild card side, but how are you guys feeling about it?
I even think the wild card selection was weak this year. This is my second favorite decade, but 2000 is a pretty weak year for the 2000s as a representative great decade for music. You're dead on, though. This Billboard year is awful. Really bad. You were diplomatic about it, so not very good. There are a lot of songs that suck on here.
This I believe has to be the worst year ever for Billboards. Like, I couldn't believe it. There's a complete black hole, like anything even with like a loud guitar. I mean, you're looking to like Matchbox 20 to be like the rock band on the charts. It's dire. It's a dire situation. I like the year for albums though. There's a bunch of like close to all-time favorites for me. But I think it is kind of top heavy. So we'll see. Even like my favorite albums, I don't think they have a great like one single. So I don't know. This was a tougher year than I expected.
Plus, you're starting this year to really get a lot of really bad male country artists in there as well, like starting to really break through. So that doesn't help me at all.
Well, as we've already alluded to, for the newbies here, we do 2 lists, 5 songs each. One is exclusively our favorite tracks that charted during the year on the Billboard Hot 100. Could have been any amount of time at any number on the charts. As long as it hit the charts during the year, it's eligible. The second list is wild cards. Those songs could have also charted. However, I doubt it going forward. But then they could also be deep cuts, B-sides, album tracks, soundtracks, compilation tracks, whatever. Basically anything goes on the wild card list. One of our lists will be 1 song short because we save our favorite of the year to reveal at the end. And then we also make a selection for our least favorite top 40 song of the year. So that's what's happening. I don't know whose turn it is to go first. I don't think it's mine.
I believe it is my turn. Yeah, abysmal year for chart toppers. There's only one song on here that I like actively seek out to listen to, and that would be Joe's pick from last year, Sour Girl, which did chart this year. The classic bass heavy, awesome STP tune. You know, you get that really nice, direct, but awesome DeLeo bass line that comes right from McCartney, but just a beautiful song in general. And then after that, I'm going to go with, God, who even cares? But somehow this made the charts. I'm going to go with Nothing As It Seems by Pearl Jam from Binaural, which made my list in 2000 for albums of the year. Don't remember ever hearing this on the radio. I can't believe it charted. There must be some sort of mistake or something, but it's on here. It's a pretty good jam. It's slower and it's really kind of saturated and hollowed out, but McCready really wailing away with some killer guitar leads on here makes it a pretty good song. And then this one I kind of like. Not one of my all-time favorite songs, but I'm going with Macy Gray with I Try. I try to sing on my joke. It's got a really great chorus. I like her voice a lot. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just a simple, pretty good song. And, you know, she's got so much personality in her voice. You either love it or hate it, or you kind of like it like me. So whatever. But I got 2 more. I'm going to throw in this motherfucker keeps showing up on our lists. Got to go with Lenny Kravitz with, again, it is really simple and just this really slow rainy day ballad, and it's great. I think he just nails the simplicity of it. There's a lot of dedication to the lyrics coming out in his vocals, just pouring it out there, and he's not really showing off on the guitar, just doing these little arpeggios and stuff, but it works. And I guess for the last one, and I almost thought about putting a Fuel song on here just because that's what I'm working with, but I am going to slip in the Wallflowers with Sleepwalker. Good downhill, nothing special with these songs. It's just 2000, just among the better crop here. It's got a good country vibe. It's kind of bass dripping. It's simple. It's just a weak year. It's not even a great Wallflower song, but it charted. So I guess that is my 5. I guess that's what we're working with here. So there you go. Sour Girl rules though. So
Do you guys know what is in 10 days?
March 2nd. I don't know.
It's gonna be May. In Sync. I was listening to this song a bunch this week, and the production, like it's just a terrible song. It is so thin sounding. I can't believe these bands were ever hits. But the nostalgia of this song alone just brings it to my list here. Also on my list, going back to Dr. Dre, my favorite doctor, with Forgot About Dre, him and Eminem teaming up there. I like Dr. Dre. I know people don't consider him a great rapper or anything, but to me, he's just got so much menace and like just fire to his lyrics, even though he's not, the flow, whatever. I like him. And Eminem provides that like bratty little sidekick part well. Number 3, I might as well. U2, Beautiful Day. Pretty good song. I mean, it's not like special or anything. It didn't make my top 10 U2 list. I don't even know if I considered it, but it's where we are. Number 2, this song I actually do like, and I was surprised it charted, but here we are. We got Metallica with No Leaf Clover. Thought that was a good one. Legitimately like this song. It was probably the first Metallica song I really liked back when I was just getting into music. I wasn't quite ready to dip my toes into real metal yet, but I did like the symphony with Metallica. Number 1, I'm going to go with Outkast and a bunch of songs from Stankonia. This is the big one, though. Miss Jackson. Ooh. Just a really tuneful, melodic, really fun rap song. One of the first ones I heard, I think, like at the time. Like I don't know if I knew Dre and all these guys really during when they were out, but Miss Jackson was one of the first ones that like really caught my ear and made me think like, okay, so rap can be more than what I maybe thought it was. So props to Outkast for expanding my mind.
So frustrated and discouraged going through this list that I missed that Outkast song and No Leaf Clover, which both should be on my list. I mean, I'm fine with kicking out almost any of those other than Sour Girl. So good job. Way to be thorough.
Right. My Billboard Hot 100 list, going to start with I Think God Can Explain by Splendor. This is the worst song on a pretty good album, produced by Todd Rundgren. I don't know. It's not a great song, but I like the singer Wayman Boone's voice a lot, and it's a pretty good record. I would suggest people go check out the record, but probably skip this track. Number 4, I've got Simple Kind of Life by No Doubt. I was really hoping that New had charted. I remember that being a little bit of a hit, and I remember there being a video for that song. I think that track is way better than Simple Kind of Life, but it didn't hit the Hot 100 somehow. But this one's okay. I think it's got a really strong hook. I like the chorus a lot, but the verses are kind of boring. Good vocal performance, though, from Gwen. Then I've got Gwen Stefani again with Moby, Southside. I think it's a pretty cool track. It's on Moby's Play record, but the version on his record doesn't have Gwen on it. So he re-released it as a single this year. She's singing the hook. It's a pretty cool track. I like Moby's kind of spoken word stuff in the verses. There's some cool slide guitar work on it. But really, it's all about that hook and Gwen coming in singing it. I also have Nothing As It Seems from Pearl Jam, of course. I do remember this getting played on the radio. It's one of those things that like modern alternative rock radio loves to do. A new track comes out, play the heck out of it for 6 months, and then they never play it again. And they go back to the 2 or 3 big hits by that band. But I think it's a really cool, moody track. I love Mike McCready's guitar work on it, the tone on it, the playing, all just killer. And it's got a really cool bass sound too. Jeff Amen's playing an upright bass on it. Sounds really awesome. And then I've got another in common with Cram, and he was less enthusiastic. I actually think this is a really good song. I've got Sleepwalker by the Wallflowers. I think Breach, the follow-up record to their big hit, Bringing Down the Horse, is a really good, underrated record. I love the little pre-chorus when he says dead asleep dreaming and the way that kind of lifts into the chorus. I think there's some really cool lyrics on it. Cupid, don't draw back your bow. Sam Cooke didn't know what I know. I don't know, good songwriting. I think it's really catchy. I like the Wallflowers. It's a good track. It's probably my favorite of these 5. Nothing As It Seems, and that pretty close.
All right. You went with Southside. I thought you would go with Southtown by POD for sure, because you love POD. Jason's a big POD and Creed guy. Shall we do the wild cards? Yes, I think we shall. And I don't have a lot from my albums of the year nominees, but I do have High Speed from Parachutes by Coldplay. They're incredibly well done, really kind of soft jazz, but you get that Brit rock beat in the back and all that. Really awesome. Great drum work. There's a really beautiful lead to it. And Chris Martin, his early style, when he's not overdoing it, not trying to be such a messiah, can really pull off a good vibe, and definitely doing this song. Completely different vibe. I'm going Digital Bath by Deftones from White Pony. It is really dark and grim and seedy. It has got a killer drum part in the verse, and then it gets really screamed out and angry and mad and kind of metally in the chorus when he does the feel like more and just goes nuts. Really cool, a lot of passion and just darkness to it. Then I'm going to go with some more Smashing Pumpkins. They've been on my list all over the place lately. I've got Age of Innocence. It is a terrific track. Like most of their songs, Chamberlain is doing some really understated, great pressed on drum work here, using the snare hits really well, driving it forward. And there's just this really quick, fast acoustic guitar strumming. And of course, because it's a Corgan penned song, it's really beautiful as well. Then from Kid A, I've got the highly depressing How to Disappear Completely. It's just such an emotional song. It swallows you whole. The production is absolutely fantastic. You feel so alone in a corner and like everything's just crumbling in on you and you get swallowed whole. It is so impressive the way that they just kind of build all these layers of just paranoia and just sadness. You become overwhelmed with so much stuff, but it is just beautifully done. It's terrific. So yeah, those are my 4 wild cards, and obviously my winner is from a wild card. There was no chance otherwise this year.
Right. Cool picks. Love the Deftones pick. It's a great song. My 5 or 4. I'll start off with one from the Dandy Warhols, Bohemian Like You. Really fun, a little gimmicky maybe, but super catchy, super just fun. It's a fun song. Also on my list, I got What It Is from Mark Knopfler. I just think this is some of the prettiest, most delicate electric guitar work he's ever done. I just love it, the way it intertwines with the violin or the fiddle or whatever's going on. Just a really cool mood, really gorgeous track from his solo record, Sailing to Philadelphia. Number 3, I got Arc Arsenal from At the Drive-In. It's a lead-off track from the album, just 2 minutes of insanity. Cedric Bixler, Zavala, is just screaming at the top of his lungs. I love it. I'm not like a big screamo guy, but just the intensity of this is so awesome. Love the drums and bass as well. And of course, the guitar from Omar Rodriguez Lopez. And my runner-up this year is going to be a track from Doves. I got Catch the Sun, sort of Britpop Mark II. It reminds me a lot of like what Blur and everybody was doing like at the beginning of the 90s, but this one's like a little even more lush, just waves and waves of instrumentation. Every inch of space is taken up. It all works really well together, and it doesn't feel overwhelming or anything. It's just like beautiful waves of noise coming at me, and just love the melody, and the chorus is fantastic. So, Catch the Sun by Doves, my runner-up this year.
My wild cards. First one is Walk on Me by Ben Queller. Just a killer pop song, power pop, massive chorus, kind of like the Wallflowers track that I just talked about. Really has a great pre-chorus that it uses to lift into the chorus. And I think the vocal production on this song is really, really good. Great like choice of like where to place vocal doubles and where to put harmonies. He does all these like little harmonies at the ends of lines where he just does the last word and kind of trails off. Really, really cool. And really brings the song to life with those little extra vocal touches. Then I'm going with Don't Panic from Coldplay. Just something about the mood and the atmosphere on this track really gets to me. It's so simple, but also so effective. The We Live in a Beautiful World line, kind of paired with the melancholy melody and the sadness of it, just works so well. The guitar lines are all really brilliant. It's got that little guitar solo where he kind of slides up. It's just really great, well-constructed tune. Next, I've got what I would imagine, maybe not the right song, but something from this album, probably going to be Joe's winner. I've got Somebody That I Used to Know from Figure 8. This track kind of flips the dynamic of Don't Panic with the optimistic lyrics and the sad music. Instead, this kind of has like an upbeat, fast guitar strumming, finger picked, but the lyrics are dealing with a breakup. It's also, kind of cold in its delivery. The line, "You're just somebody that I used to know," and also like, "It's your heart, not mine, that's scarred." So you've got all these different emotions kind of going on at once, and the tracks that reveal like a complexity of emotions are always the best ones and always my favorite. So I think this is pretty like emotionally layered and detailed song. And like I always mention, talking about Elliott Smith, he's so good at doubling guitar and vocals, and he does both on this track very well. And my runner-up is going to be The Ama Ring by Jay Mascis and the Fog. Just love that main guitar lick, great melody. Some of Jay's best singing on this song, really great delivery. It's got multiple guitar solos, and right in the middle of the solos, he comes in with these huge, heavy chords where suddenly you have like this nice, pretty song that just gets really big and massive. So it's kind of got like all of the sides of Jay Mascis in one track. I have no idea what an Ama ring is. I was trying to find out. Apparently, people speculate that it's about Ama, who is a spiritual leader from India. I don't know. No idea what the lyrics mean, but really cool track.
Twice during that, you tried to say the word melody and fouled up and went mellet, and it sounded like mullet. So maybe that's the universe telling you to grow your hair out. I would love to see you in a mullet. I think that'd be dope.
I'll do it.
Here's something that's not dope. We're talking about our worst songs of the year now, and there were a lot of contenders. This one is going to upset some people, probably including Joe, because I have a feeling his band does this song. I'm going with All the Small Things by Blink 182. For God's sakes, if I can just never hear this song again for the rest of my life. This is one of my least favorite subgenres of rock and roll, and this is like the stairway to heaven of pop punk. It is so annoying. I hate the sound of it. It's just, the chorus with the na 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 na's, and really just, especially now that it was so big for our generation. Now you go out and like you're at bars and stuff while we're supposed to be the adults, and people are just going nuts for this little like teeny bopper song. Like it's like the new Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Everyone just stops what they're doing and starts singing along to it. I go out to like friggin' shows where it's supposed to be like a punk act or like a harder act, and they end up covering the song, and everyone just like, oh my God, it's so cool that they did this song. It's like, shut up. I've hated it since 2000. I really hate it now, and I won't hear otherwise. It sucks. Work sucks. I know. Blah, 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 blah. It's just, oh God.
My band does play that song. I don't like it, but it's surely in 2000, the year of bad music, the worst song of the year. No. This artist has two songs that both are the worst of the year. If I have to pick one, it sucks because they both suck. And unfortunately, they came out, the one, I'm going to pick the one, Angel by Shaggy, featuring Rayvon. Oh, yes. I could have gone with It Wasn't Me by Shaggy, but Angel came out on the day before New Year's Eve somehow. And it is just the worst song. It combines two songs I hate already, The Joker and Angel in the Morning, into just this horrendous like reggae tune that relies on The Joker. And it's just awful, just so bad. I hate every second of it. And the fact that you'd have this and It Wasn't Me on the radio like the same time, I think they both went to number one. Just the worst. You could not escape these songs.
Total disagreement. I think both those songs are fine.
Well, there was a lot to choose from. Could have gone Thong Song by Cisco. Could have gone She Bangs by Ricky Martin. Could have gone with American Pie by Madonna. Really, really terrible cover of a terrible song. But I'm going with Liquid Dreams by O-Town. Boy band, teen idol, heartthrobs singing about their nocturnal emissions. Just really, really terrible stuff. The production's really dated. It's got that really bad boy band production. The singing is really generic. It's not even as interesting as NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. The lyrics are really weird. They're like describing the ideal woman and taking like all these pieces of different female celebrities that they could have. But you would think like they would go, okay, if I could take this piece and this piece and this piece, then the angle should be, I would try to get with you. But instead the angle is just, I'll probably just come in my sleep if that happens. It makes no sense. It's a horrible song. It's so bad. Then they have this bridge where they suddenly, all of a sudden go, yeah, she'd have to have a great personality. Like the song was like focus grouped and someone was like, this is kind of offensive. We should probably like say something about the woman having a personality. So they threw that in there. It sounds really like tacked on, like they wrote the bridge at the last minute. It's just horrible and shallow and not catchy or really good at all. So Liquid Dreams by O-Town.
That's pretty good. Last year you went with the I Like Girls That Wear Abercrombie and Fitch song. I can't remember the name of it. So you might be on just a boy band streak here in the early 2000s. You really dislike that stuff. But my favorite song of 2000 is not a boy band, but it is a band full of all boys. That band is Radiohead, and the song is Idiotech, which I'm going with my winner. Didn't make my top 10 Radiohead songs, but really my top 10 Radiohead songs is just a 124 song tie, so it doesn't really matter. This song rules. It's got a ridiculous beat to it, doing a little trip pot, kind of turning it up, getting really electro pop. It's got that cool lead, which I think is just the guitar volume kind of swelling, and at least that's how they do it live. It sounds like maybe it was done electronically, but very cool. The lyrics are fantastic. Apparently, Tom knew what he wanted to write about with this song, but couldn't quite come up with the lyrics. So he wrote like all of the phrases and lines and stanzas, and they kind of just picked them from a hat and put them on like a board, and we're like, all right, this is how we're going to arrange them. But yeah, the here I'm allowed everything all of the time and everything, the way he cries that out, just wrapping everything up. Awesome. It's got just tremendous beat to it. And then it's got that area of just utter chaos where there's just like the shaking and the bass coming in and everything, like boom, 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 bass on the drum kit, just so heavy and loud. It's got like a nice like shadowy club vibe to it as well. But it's just a tremendous song. And as much as I like it on the Kid A, the live version of it is always really impressive because, like a lot of their songs, like, how the hell are they going to do this live? And they just nail it. So it's got to be Idiotech. I could have picked a lot off of Kid A, obviously, but going with Idiotech, I think it's the best representation of where their sound went, and it's a hell of a listen.
Right? I figured you'd pick something from Kid A. What about Idiotech? Can't really remember what it sounds like. Optimistic would have just missed my list. My winner, no, it is not what you guys think it is. It is nothing from Elliott Smith. It's not even something from Queens of the Stone Age. I'm going back to Outkast, actually, for Bombs Over Baghdad is my winner. Everything I said about Miss Jackson holds true for this one, too. I think Stain County was the first rap CD I ever bought. It had a psychedelic picture of a naked woman on the CD, which that was spicy back in those days. Did not let anyone in my family see that. But after I heard Miss Jackson, I think on the radio, I went and bought the CD. And Bombs Over Baghdad, which was the first single, but I just didn't take off at all somehow. This one blew my mind even more so. Miss Jackson was like the appetizer. This thing is like Prince and like rap and hip hop and all this gospel. There's like cool electric guitar parts. There's a part where it's just like scratching over an electric guitar beat that Prince would come up with. It ends with this gospel chant of power music, electric revival. Obviously, Big Boy, Andre 3000 have raps in it, so it's a rap song. But I just feel like it's so much more than that. Just like everything that you could possibly fit into a rap song, a hip hop song, they did way ahead of its time. It showed how good and interesting they were and ahead of the game that Outkast was. So that's going to be my winner. I just think it's really one of the greatest rap songs of all time. And double for Outkast in 2000.
Jason's going alt country with something.
You guys are going to battle it out for the win this week. I don't think I'll be putting up too much of a fight, but maybe. I've got Remember the Mountain Bed by Wilco from Mermaid Avenue Volume 2. If you don't know the story behind the Mermaid Avenue records, it's a bunch of Woody Guthrie lyrics that he didn't put music to, and Billy Bragg and Wilco were able to take the lyrics and write songs to them. But this is one of my favorite lyrical songs of all time. This long Woody Guthrie poem, 9 stanzas, no chorus. It just beautiful words and imagery, really poignant. It's a song about love and loss and sex and nature, and I don't know. It's a very deep song. There's a lot to unpack in the lyrics. The way the band treats the lyrics is so respectful. Nothing gets in the way of the words. There's these really lovely, like, big organ swells in the background. Eventually some piano comes in. The rhythm section kind of just hangs back, but the track builds along with the emotion of the song. It builds an intensity when the lyrics get a little bit more emotional. I just love it. I think it's a absolutely beautiful song. It seems so, like, impossible that the songwriter and the lyric writer could not have been involved in the writing of it, because the music and the words mold together so perfectly. So I just think it's a masterpiece. Honestly, probably it's probably in like my top 10 favorite songs of all time. I think it's a brilliant song.
Wow. Top 10 all time. I've never heard you talk about it before. You're full of it. No, it's not. He's starting this trend where he always has this little anecdote or this little plea to get him votes. Me and Joe are on to you. It's starting to become a little annoying. And my wife and I love this song. We got married to this song. My dog died to this song. I held his paw while this Jay Maskus.
Yeah.
No story. I'm happy to report that it didn't work. Jason's little, I was married to this song. Almost got him enough votes for the win, but in the end, a comeback. Sour Girl takes it best song of 1999 by only 3 votes. And it was trailing for a long time. So I don't know. People came to their senses and decided to vote for Sour Girl, I guess. That gives me 20 wins on the season. Jason still at 15.5. Crams are 12.5. So it's looking good. I got to maintain this to the aughts, which might be tough for me. We'll see what happens. I don't know how many Sum 41 and My Chemical Romance songs I can nominate for wins this decade.
Well, mathematically, it should be in the bag for you. You only got 21 years left or whatever. And I don't know. Who knows?
You probably have to win at least a couple more, but you're probably going to get there.
And yeah, I mean, and we will send Uber Eats to your house, whatever you want, buddy. That's the deal if you win. Nice gluten-free pasta dish for you coming your way.
Well, if you're not aware what we're talking about, we do have a little competition going throughout the series. You can go to our website. The link is in the video description and vote for which of our songs of the year is your favorite. We've been keeping a tally along the way. Before you leave and go vote for which is your favorite, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Also hit the bell for notifications. You can find Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our website, merch, and our Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further. All of the links are in the video description. Check them out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.